What if I told you that the key to unlocking a life of complete financial freedom, the kind of wealth that allows you to buy back your time, has been sitting in your pocket, jingling against the linked and loose change you ignore every single day? You are about to discover the secret behind a specific coin, the 1990 Washington quarter, that has absolutely shattered the expectations of the numismatic world. We are talking about a coin that, if you have the right version, is currently commanding a market value that can pay off your mortgage, buy you that dream car, or secure your children's future in a way most people only dream about. The current market value for this specific era? A staggering $435,000. Yes, you heard that correctly. Nearly $500,000 for a single 25-cent piece struck at the Denver Mint. But here is the harsh reality. Every single day, people who are unaware of what they possess are spending these coins like they are pocket change. They are walking right past a life-altering fortune because they don't know the secrets we are about to share with you today. Why? Because the majority of 1990 quarters are, frankly, just pocket change. They are worth face value. The difference between a quarter you could buy a soda with and a quarter that could buy you a house comes down to a microscopic detail, a manufacturing anomaly that happens only once in a million strikes. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Here we go again, another video about a common coin that's supposed to be worth $1 million. And you're right to be skeptical. But let me stop you right there. This isn't the story of a common coin. This is the story of the Black Beauty, the dual-clad layer error, and the other mysterious anomalies that turn base metal into gold. Stick with me for the next 10 minutes, because by the end of this video, you won't look at a handful of change the same way again. I'm going to show you exactly what to look for, and I promise you, the adrenaline rush of knowing you might just be holding a fortune is a feeling you don't want to miss. Imagine pulling a quarter out of your pocket and realizing it's worth more than your car. Is your heart racing yet? It should be. High-definition macro shots of the 1990 quarter. Split-screen comparisons showing a normal quarter versus an error quarter. Animations highlighting the specific areas to check, the min mark, the edge, and the details of the hair. A digital scale displaying weights. Graphics showing the Carson City, D, min mark. Now that I have your full attention, let's enter the second act of this treasure hunt. You need to understand that the Denver Mint produced over 927 million quarters in 1990. That is an astronomical number. With that volume, the machines are working at a pace that is almost impossible to fathom. In that frantic rush, errors happen. And these errors, my friends, are what separate the elite from the average. The most famous, and the most devastatingly valuable, error for the 1990 is the dual missing clad layer error, sometimes affectionately known as the Black Beauty. Here is the technical breakdown, and I want you to listen closely. A standard quarter is a sandwich. It has a core made of pure copper, and it is clad or coated on both sides with a layer of copper and nickel that gives it that silvery appearance. Now, imagine the machine misses a step. Imagine that the planchet, or the blank coin, goes into the press without one, or crucially, both of these outer layers attached to the copper core. That is what makes this error so visually striking and incredibly rare. If you are looking for a 1990 quarter with a missing clad layer on both sides, you will notice it immediately. It doesn't look silver. It looks copper, like a penny. It is a deep, rich, reddish-brown color because you are looking directly at the pure copper core of the coin. It is essentially a penny made of a quarter's design. Think about that. It's a quarter that looks like a penny. Now, you can't just rely on your eyes. You need to be scientific about this. A standard quarter weighs exactly 5.67 grams. If you have a coin that weighs significantly less, and I mean significantly, down in the range of 4.5 to even 3.6 grams, you are likely looking at a coin that is missing one or more of its essential metal layers. That lighter weight is the smoking gun. But here is the pattern interrupt: don't just run to your kitchen scale. You need a precise digital scale that measures to the hundredth of a gram. And be careful. Many fakes exist where acid has been used to strip the clad layer off a regular quarter. A chemically altered coin will look pitted and dull, while a genuine error will have a crisp, sharp strike, even on the copper surface. The coin will look completely authentic, just the wrong color. Humor break. If you find a copper-colored quarter in your change, don't try to clean it. Whatever you do, do not polish it. If you use a metal polish on a coin, you just turn $435,000 into a paperweight. Leave the cleaning to the professionals. Now, what are the other errors that command massive attention? While the dual-clad error is the king, other variations are highly sought after. Look for off-center strikes. These are coins where the design is shifted dramatically to one side, leaving a blank, smooth crescent on the edge. Collectors pay a premium for these because they are visually fascinating, but the value hinges on how extreme the error is. The more dramatic the shift while still showing the full date, the higher the price can go. Also, keep an eye out for the doubled die variety. On certain 1990 proof coins from San Francisco, marked with an S, you can see a doubling in the lettering of "In God We Trust" or in the details of Washington's hair. It's a ghosting effect that is impossible to miss under a magnifying glass. Even a certified proof version of this error has sold for over $7,000 at auction. That's life-changing money for a lot of people. But we are focusing on the Denver Mint. That D is your clue. The 1990 D quarter is the one that can make you a millionaire. The 1990 D in a high-grade mint state can be worth hundreds of dollars on its own, but when you add these manufacturing errors into the mix, the price skyrockets. Stop. Breathe. Look at the quarter in your pocket right now. I'll wait. Is it copper-colored? Does it look like a penny? If you are holding one, please pause this video and sit down. You have just found a potential treasure. A large house, a person driving a sports car, a family on a private jet, all overlaid with the image of the 1990 D coin. A mock auction screen showing the current bid rapidly increasing to $435,000. The screen flashes sold. Animation showing the coin being graded by PCGS or NGC and placed in a holder. We have reached the third act, and this is where we talk about the most important part, the payoff. It is one thing to identify a coin, it is another thing entirely to understand its power and how to harness it. Right now, there is a massive, hungry market for these coins. Deep-pocketed collectors, investors who understand rare assets, and specialist dealers are all hunting for high-quality error coins. It is a market driven by scarcity. Remember, the 1990 D quarter that sold for a mind-blowing $435,000 wasn't just a random coin. It was a high-grade specimen that likely possessed that dramatic Black Beauty error, a dual missing clad layer that makes it as rare as a unicorn. The odds of finding one are astronomical, but they are out there. They are waiting in hoards, in old collection jars, and yes, sometimes in a pile of change bought at a bank. I want you to look at this image. Does that image represent wealth to you? If not, it should. This coin represents financial independence. It represents the ability to say yes to your dreams and no to the rat race. It represents a down payment on freedom. This is where the urgency comes in. This isn't a stock market where the price fluctuates wildly. The value of rare coins like this is intrinsic and growing. They are a store of value. As the older generations of collectors pass their wealth down to their heirs and younger generations search for tangible assets, coins like the 1990D are becoming legendary. The demand is high, the supply is fixed, and the price is going to follow that trend. Once a coin is gone from the market and locked away in a private collection, it is often decades before it surfaces again. So, what is the call to action? You need to act now. You need to check your change jars, your attic, your grandparents' estates. Look for that D and look for that copper color. If you find something that looks even remotely suspicious, do not share it on social media to ask, how much is this worth? That is how you get lowballed. You need to protect your asset. First, get a digital scale. Weigh your coin. If the weight is off by a gram or more, you are onto something. Second, buy a magnifying loupe. Even a 5x or 10x loupe can show you the doubling or the off-center errors. Third, and this is the most important step, submit your coin to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Do not sell it raw. A coin in a PCGS holder with a certified grade is an asset. It is a proof of value. It signals to the buyer that they are getting the real deal, and it commands a premium that a raw coin could never fetch. The feeling of holding a coin that is currently valued at $435,000 is indescribable. It is the feeling of winning a lottery that you didn't even know you played. It is the feeling of a safety net so large that you can chase your passions without fear. It is the feeling of being wealthy. This is your chance. The 1990D quarter is out there. Could yours be the next one to hit the auction block and shatter records? The coin knows no fear, no poverty. Why should you? Start looking today. Thank you for watching. If you found this information valuable, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We are here to empower you to find the treasures hidden in plain sight. Join us next time as we uncover another secret hiding in your pocket change. Remember, the most valuable coins are the ones you are about to find. Good hunting. We are going to dissect exactly what makes the 1980p Min Mark quarter so incredibly valuable, and I am going to show you exactly what to look for. Because if you have this coin sitting in a drawer right now, you are not holding change, you are holding a life-altering asset. I want you to pause for a second and think about that. Have you ever looked at a coin and felt a rush of excitement? Or do you just see the face value? If you want to build real wealth, you need to start looking at the small things differently. I'm going to show you how. Let's get into the details. You need to know exactly what to look for. There are specific errors that separate a common quarter from a five-figure payday, and we are going to focus on the top-tier rarities. The first thing you need to check is the Min mark. Look to the right of George Washington's ponytail. If you see a P, you are in the zone. The Philadelphia Mint produced hundreds of millions of these, but a specific subset has what is known as a filled P or solid P error. This happened when grease or debris filled the die, causing the letter to look almost like a blob. The double die effect. Next, look at the inscriptions. Do you see any shelf-like doubling on the letters? If the words United States of America or quarter dollar look like they have a shadow or a ghostly outline, you might have a doubled die reverse. While minor doubling might not buy you a car, the dramatic, clear examples are highly sought after and can push the value into four figures or more. The off-metal anomaly. Here is where it gets really serious. There are known instances of 1980 quarters being struck on the wrong planchet. Imagine a quarter being struck on a nickel planchet. It would be lighter, the sound would be different, and the edge would be smooth instead of reeded. If you find one of these, you are looking at a coin worth several $1,000s instantly. The spectacular off-center. Another major error is the off-center strike. If the design is shifted to one side, leaving a blank, crescent-shaped space, you have a collectible. But don't get too excited by just any off-center. The big money comes when the coin is struck 50% or more off-center, yet the date, 1980, remains fully visible. That specific combination is the sweet spot collectors love. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, this sounds too technical, I'll never find one. But let me ask you this, what if I told you that a similar off-center error just sold for hundreds of dollars? Or that other dramatic mean errors have sold for over $80,000? This isn't rocket science. It's just knowing what to look for. So, you think you have one? Maybe you see that field P or a strange off-center design. Now, let's talk about the part that matters most, the current market value and how to sell it for the highest price. The landscape for error coins is hotter than it has ever been. Collectors are paying top dollar for quality, authenticated errors. Why? Because we live in a world of uncertainty, and tangible assets, especially rare pieces of American history, hold their value. I need to be clear, you rarely find a 1980 quarter worth exactly $375,000 in your pocket change. That figure represents the upper echelon of a perfect, highly specific error in a pristine state. However, what you can find are coins easily worth $5,000 to $15,000 plus. For context, auction records show that an MS-67 graded $1979 struck on a different planchet sold for over $10,000. This is where the wealthy lifestyle part comes in. You cannot just list a coin on eBay and expect the big bucks. To achieve the highest return, you must authenticate. Companies like PCGS or NGC are the gatekeepers of value. A coin that is raw sells for a fraction of what a certified MS-64 or EU-58 coin sells for. Imagine holding a piece of metal that was minted in 1980. It survived 40 years of circulation. Maybe someone spent it at a grocery store, maybe it sat in a jar for decades. And then, you found it. You recognized it. You took the action to get it graded. And you sold it for enough money to cover a year's worth of mortgage payments, or to start that investment portfolio you have been dreaming about. This is your call to action. Don't let another day go by where you ignore the potential sitting in your change jar. Go grab that jar of quarters. Do you have a magnifying glass? Good. Look at the mint mark. Look at the rim. Look at the lettering. Let me ask you a question. Are you the type of person who sees opportunity, or the type of person who lets it pass by? The coin is just the vehicle. The real wealth is in your ability to see value where others don't. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. I'm here to teach you how to find the hidden wealth in the everyday. To wrap this up, the 1980 P Mint Mark Washington Quarter is not just a coin. It is a lesson in potential. It teaches us that money isn't just earned, sometimes, it is found. But you have to know how to look. The errors we discussed today, the field P, the off-center strike, the doubled die, are your treasure maps. The market is there. The buyers are wealthy and hungry for these pieces of history. They are willing to pay thousands to own a mistake that you might be overlooking. Check your pocket change. Visit a coin shop. Get a second opinion. And most importantly, believe that your wealth journey can start with a single, 25-cent coin. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe so you don't miss our next deep dive into the coins that can change your life. Thank you for watching. Now, go find that fortune.